And New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, member of the House Ways and Means Committee. Congresswoman, my issue here is like, this guy has basically said, is my way or the highway? And that is not what he ran on.
That's how Joe Biden always is, though. I mean, you just had probably the biggest liar in the modern era. He makes George Santos look like a slacker. I mean, nobody lies like Joe Biden. And then I mean, look at Karine Jean-Pierre. He's got to lie for the liar. So it's got a tough job. I give her credit for doing what she's doing. It can't be easy, although I couldn't do it. Yeah. But look, you know, the Democrats could have solved this problem with their giant omnibus bill that they did in December, the big Christmas bill that I called the big ugly at the time. They very well could have done. They could have put this debt ceiling problem to rest, but they were hoping that it would come up and look and drop in the lap of the Republicans because they knew we were taking the majority. Yeah. And guess what? Joe Biden refused to deal with Kevin McCarthy. He started asking in January. Now, it took just last week or 2 weeks ago, when he finally decided, oh yeah, I think I'm going to negotiate with you. But look, this is really important, and I'm not concerned that we're going to default on the debt. We shouldn't default on the debt, and that's not going to happen. We have the money in the Treasury. Janet Yellen can prioritize the interest payments to cover us for a certain period of time. So that is the actual truth. So the Democrats all paraded across the floor today after session ended, and with hysterical hyperbole about how horrible this is all going to be. But they created this mess. They added $10 trillion to the debt just since 2021. Since Nancy Pelosi has been speaker 2 different times, $40 trillion was added to our debt. So, or 40% was added to our debt. Yeah. And so it's all on their lap. And now Joe Biden refuses to negotiate, but they know they're in trouble. And I'll tell you 3 important things, Carl. Right now, our debt, our taxes, and our spending have never been higher in this country. And this is looking a lot like what could happen in 2008. If we go to a recession that is worse by allowing us to default, to continue to allow the inflation, and to continue all the spending and the taxes, there's nowhere to go for the Democrats. Yeah. And they control 2 parts. They control the Senate and they control the White House. This is Biden's default, Biden's problem. If we go into recession, the Democrats are going to get wiped out in the elections, and they know that. That's why they're pushing now all of a sudden to get something done by next week.
But Congresswoman, I got less than a minute left. Look, I'm a pretty big libertarian, and I think like, hey, you know what? We took in $4.9 trillion in tax revenue last year. That's more than ever before, like you said. This actually kind of forces a balanced budget. Why is that a bad thing? Maybe just don't raise it at all.
It is a good thing, and we could do that, and we've proposed to do that. But right now, you have to pay for the appropriations that have been laid out. And so the debt ceiling really is just about paying the appropriations that we have. And we've laid those out, and those are laid out by the Democrats. Now we're in charge. What we're saying, which is a very modest plan put out by Kevin McCarthy, which I cannot believe the hysteria going on. We have a modest plan. This should be, the Democrats, this should be a slam dunk. And remember, energy is a big part of this. This is about the permitting process, which is where they don't want to agree on these green energy subsidies. But let's just look right here in my own state of New York. Chuck Schumer is 1/3 of this equation in debating this debt. They brought a giant Micron plant proposal into New York to give it to Kathy Hochul so she could defeat Lee Zeldin for governor. And guess what? They've got to deal with energy. We're not going to bring chips back. Yeah. We're not going to grow jobs. We're not going to have Micron without strong energy policy and the permitting. Yeah. With the Environmental Protection Agency and the Department of Environmental Conservation in New York are going to put the brakes on this project. So it's really in Chuck Schumer's lap right now. Let this permitting be modified, and we can go ahead with a Micron plant, bring the chips back from China and from Taiwan, give us security. He could be a winner if he did that.